Hey, everybody. We've got a great topic today, balancing work and life. So I think this is probably one of the hardest ones, especially for entrepreneurs. But we are going to touch on some really good information about managing your time off, the power of no, and then also reassessing to make sure that whatever you're putting into something, that you're getting the results you want. So really making sure that we assess, what's going on. So definitely stay tuned and listen to a lot of updates from each of us on how we're trying to balance our work-life situation.
Welcome to the Close to Home podcast. Real people, real life, real stories. Insight and inspiration from Close to Home brings a fresh perspective on home, business, and life. Join the professionals across real estate, construction, insurance, and financial lending to gain perspective not only from their individual professional experience, but also from their life stories.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Ashley.
Ashley.
Jim, you're awfully quiet this morning.
I am quiet. What's going on with everybody? What?
I said, why are you quiet? Did Vegas wear you out?
Vegas wore me out. Yeah. Everybody says, how'd you do? Best thing to do is know this. A, I didn't go to the teller. B, I didn't look.
Oh, jeez.
What good's going to come out of that?
Right.
So we actually are celebrating my son's 21st birthday tonight.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes.
So we'll be hitting up the casino a little bit.
We called that his first legal drink, right?
Yes, we had breakfast yesterday morning, and the waitress was so cute. She delivered his drink and was like, "Here, enjoy your first legal drink." And I was like,
what was the
nice.
first drink? Was it like a Three Wise Men? Was it an Irish car bomb?
Shirley
Start
Temple.
the morning off right.
He had his very first mimosa.
Hey, that's all right. Nice.
Not so sure he was loving the dry champagne, but he's an orange juice kid, so I guess I can't say kid anymore.
Yeah.
21.
You know what?
An
I
orange
think,
juice kid. Vodka, right?
Yeah.
Oh, screwballs.
I don't even know what that is. What's the difference
Vodka
between
orange
that and
juice.
that's
Vodka
screwdriver, right?
Screwdriver.
What's it?
Screwball is
Screwball, that's that
is
peanut butter.
Dan.
Oh, no, that's
That's
that
a
peanut
peanut
butter
butter.
whiskey
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, I'm
like
mixing
a-
everything
Not-
up.
And then you put that
No.
in like chocolate milk or something, and you have a Reese's cup drink. I am making that up. Please, if you've tried that, let me know.
That
I would
sounds
love to hear that, but I
Man,
just made
that's
that up on the spot.
interesting.
Let's try that. My daughter likes chocolate
Well,
milk.
happy
so, yeah.
birthday, Travis.
Happy birthday,
She's
buddy.
not 21, Dan.
Yeah, I was just going to
No.
say that.
I'll make her chocolate milk, and I'll make me screwball. Or Reese's or whatever I just said. All right, well, we're going down a rabbit hole to start off, but today's podcast is brought to you by Jaclyn Schmitz, owner agent at Brightside Insurance Agency. She can be reached at 636-346-7021 or Jaclyn, Jaclyn .Schmitz, SCHMITZ, at brightsideins.com, brightsideins.com. Today's topic is going to be balancing work and life, specifically business ownership and entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Ashley, it's all about you today, right?
I don't know that it's all about me. I think it's kind of all about all of us.
But you're gonna
Good
We are.
be the guru on it today, though.
Am I the guru? Well,
You figured out how to do it.
I don't know if I've figured everything out, but I do feel like it's a very important topic to touch on, because business and being smart financially and being smart about investments and even just your insurance or what you do to your home, or all of that doesn't make any sense or matter if your family life is not taken care of first. And I think we talk about that balance. Anytime you make a financial decision, yeah, it might be financially prudent to pay something off but if you don't take time with your family and spend that money to do things together, or there's always that balance. And knowing what that balance line is going to look different for each of us.
Ashley, that was my 1-year gift for my business partner.
Oh, want to read it? Go ahead.
So this couldn't be more timely. So I got this gift. you guys can see here, and the quote that was put on it by Maya Angelou is, "I've learned that making a living is not the same as making a life."
Yeah,
And that's like absolutely what we're talking about, completely unplanned. But you started speaking and I just got, like goosebumps and everything.
It's emotional, especially because we put our hearts into our businesses, into our business ventures, and that becomes its own entity in it. We have our own relationship with our business.
Yeah.
But making sure that that doesn't come before our family for someone that is so driven like yourself, I'm sure that can be kind of a challenge.
Yeah,
Well,
for all of us.
We've talked about this in other casts, but those decisions you make, just like what Ashley said, should I pay this now? Should I do this? Well, that decision that she makes will affect everybody. And that's the whole point of all of this, real life, real people. Is that what you say, Dan? I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyway, but this is really, really important. And I think she's hit the nail on the head. And that's the whole purpose of why we're even here.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
I've realized that managing my time off, because I'm a person that is, as soon as I wake up, you can ask my husband, I am like up out of bed, hair, makeup, getting dressed, getting the kids ready, and I'm out the door in 45 minutes. Okay, with 2 kids
That's
under
pretty stellar
5
time,
years
yeah, with 2
old,
little kids.
and
yeah.
I feed the horses. So
wow,
to
do you feed them from the driver's seat of your pickup? Like, here you go.
No. So
today's a Cliff Bar.
Yeah, breakfast is typically non-existent, unfortunately. But managing that off time, learning how to turn off work, it takes me a little bit to wind down at the end of the day to truly appreciate the world surrounding me. So I almost have to schedule myself like, okay, whether I have laundry to do or something else to do at home, taking time with the kids, because it's important that I sit and watch them play on the playground as opposed to watching them from the kitchen through the window while I'm doing dishes. And that, or I'm on my phone texting to reply to another employee or something like that, that I'm literally just sitting there being in the moment with them. And those are the little things that actually matter.
I'm interested. Yeah. How do you wind down? Give us an idea.
It's really hard for me, to be completely honest. I'm type A, go, don't shut off work. I could be 10 o'clock at night and I'm still thinking about it. So that is one of my biggest challenges.
We know by your texts.
But what do? I go out to my barn and typically I'll tack up a horse and I'll ride. And that's where I'm in the zone, focusing on nothing but that. And that kind of forces my mind to shift perspective, similarly to why people will go to the gym, because that physical exercise forces the other functions of the brain to basically shut off and focus on the strenuous activity.
You're blessed to have that. I do sometimes need to unwind, and I do need to, there's a difference in going to the gym versus going downstairs and, doing something. But, everybody finds solace, in a different way when you're trying to wind down, and it's hard to separate work. Look, some people are good at it, and some people can sleep through the night. I'm one of those that will toss and turn if work's not right. Everything's off balance. And, probably out in the barn, I would have a spot of courage somewhere, little Jack Daniels or something like that, but no, honestly, it's interesting to hear how everybody does this, because this is a part of the balance and the coping. You can't just keep adding hours, wake up earlier, go to bed or later. And I mean, because essentially that does happen. We all do this.
Right.
Well, and our society too is so driven by, you get rewarded for working more and longer, or at least that's seen as like this great attribute. And it really isn't. It's not what we're here for.
Right.
Obviously we all have bills and we have things that we have to do. And even as business owners, we have goals and places where we want to take our businesses or our ventures, but you have to balance that. It can't just be about work.
Right.
you will get burned out
You will
so
get burned out.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there
And
is
if
the
it
work
takes a
hard,
while.
play hard.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
But,
there's
but
also the
if all
work
you're
smarter,
doing,
not harder.
Yes.
Yeah, I have not figured that one out yet, and I'm striving for it. I really am.
yeah,
Kind of like our meetings, my favorite part of our network that we do, and I don't know if we can talk about that or not, but the why we work so hard. The reason I like it so much is because, well, with this group, I can tell you, it's not about us. It's about those that we're dragging through the muck with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Making it as pleasant and enjoyable as you can. And I have learned from the missus that I have to set things forward so that I have something to look forward to. And she's taught me that. And, after 30-something short years, I think I got it, But you do have to have something to look forward to. It's just interesting to hear how everybody, manages. But
And think about this. So I did a little bit of research, and from what I could find, the average number of hours a normal person would work during the week is roughly 36, 35-ish hours a week. There are statistics showing that business owners specifically, or those of in the entrepreneurial position, their averages are 60 plus.
Yeah.
I
So
believe
double.
that. Yeah.
And in my mind, that's almost a crutch to them, because they're literally taking double the amount of time to focus on work versus family. And in my mind, with my values, what is important.
Right.
How I have balanced that is I've learned to ask for help. You'll notice within our company, I have actually hired on 3 additional people to help with my workload, and I still have more work than I know what to do with. But I've literally made 3 other full-time jobs out of what my workload was in August of 2022.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you don't, your workload will consume you eventually, especially if your business is thriving and doing well. You can't do it all, because if I was trying to do it all, things would be falling through the cracks. It wouldn't be going well. My marriage would be falling apart. My children would be deprived of time with their mother. That's not healthy. Even if I was making all the money and I was quote unquote saving the time or the money from the payroll, it wouldn't be what it was supposed to be.
You can make more money tomorrow, but once you lost today, I don't think you'll ever get it back.
Good advice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Profound.
Yes.
That's like one things that I've learned, and that's Jaclyn, we were talking about trying to find more people for you, and dude, I would love to have 3 more of me.
Yeah.
I would love to have 3 more of me.
Oh my gosh, it's a scary thought.
Well, not exactly like me,
Oh, okay. There you go.
but
It's true. It's true.
Replicate you to do all the work. We're in this place right now where,
Well, and that's what Ashley's done, the best thing, and realizing that, just like Dan, what could be better than, 3 Ashleys now? There's always that question. You have to throw a lot of trust into this, because in your mind, even though you don't say it, who's going to be as good as Ashley,
right.
Sometimes you're surprised. And it's pretty easy for me to find somebody better than me, but for you guys, it might be difficult, and that's probably hiring 101. You want to try to find somebody as good as you or better. That's the goal, and it's difficult for some people because we carry so much along with it.
Mm-hmm. And I've learned with the hiring process that you can always train people to a task, but you can't train them to be good people. And I have based all of my hiring off of that, is genuine, ethical, well-rounded, family-minded individuals. And from there, everything else is just training and time. And once they're trained, they're very valuable employees.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to call them team members. So
I was at a talk a couple weeks ago, and that's exactly what the topic was. It was hiring to keep people, and it was all about culture. And much like what you said, you hire for the behaviors, not for the skill set, because those things can be taught.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Find those people.
Yep.
It's far important. It is something that can actually destroy, a good company, and it doesn't take much. Right. It doesn't take much.
I think, didn't they send a monkey into space before? Like, I think that if they can teach a monkey to pilot a spaceship, like seriously, like if you can teach a monkey to pilot a spaceship, we can probably find somebody and teach them what needs to be done in our jobs.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. Well, it's a good point. It's brilliant, and there are a lot of good people out there. People don't often say that, but there's some great people out there,
So, Ashley, I know you said asking for help or hiring is one of the ways that you've been able to better balance. But what about, and I know from a female perspective, like that nasty word that nobody ever wants to say.
The 2-letter word?
Yes.
The no?
The no.
So I feel like Dan is probably one of the most likely people to like set that boundary at this table of like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Me?
Yeah.
I
kind of like.
I would probably agree with that.
Yeah.
I kind of want to say no. But
No. I just feel
I
like
tell people no all the time.
moms and women and
people pleasers.
Yeah, like you just you want to say no, but you don't know how to say no.
I also feel like Jim is I wouldn't say you're a complete people pleaser, but I think you're an agreeable person.
It's, no doesn't come easy to me. I will deliver the news, but let me tell you something that's very difficult, and all of us would understand this. When your kid asks for something and you have to say no, right? Okay, that's a hard no. And Dan will be way better at that than me. But
I'm the strict parent, so I can't say that I'm good at no with my children, but not with taking on more work.
Yeah.
That's bad.
And you do it. You do it,
Right. And
it has to happen. It has to happen.
Yeah. At a certain point in time. And there's times too where like I will find myself that in positions where I just am, all right, hey, I think I'm going to get burned out here. But, those things pass. And in my mind, you kind of got to, make hay while the sun's shining. We're not always going to be in good times. So it's kind of like, hey, all right, suffer for a little while, right, and then things will slow down. I haven't found that slowdown yet, but eventually things are going to slow down, and I'm going to be able to spend a little bit more time with my daughter. And this is one of the things I'm really working on. So I'm glad this week's topic, figuring out how to do that.
The balance is switched. I'll use my business for example, and it kind of coincides with your business. I would think that I would have a lot of time right now, but I'm doing those tedious things that don't really bring me a whole lot of profitability right now, but have to be done. And I thought I was going to have more time. I mean, ideally, this is a good time to see Ireland, But the point is, all this stuff has to be done, and so it's still a struggle to find enough time, And look, that is the day job. Like there's other endeavors that we're a pretty busy group. I mean, you have to admit, even this is a little tough getting in here and sitting down and assembling the four of us, But it does happen. So.
Yeah. And I really think that whether it's your family life or your work life, whether you're a business owner or not, or you're just an employee, just take a moment to self-reflect. And if you don't like what you're getting out of something, check on the effort that you're putting into it. So I always say that to myself to kind of reflect on, am I putting too much effort into this? Am I not putting enough? Am I working harder than my client is to make this work? Am I working, am I putting enough effort into my family life to get the results that I want back out of it? And that's kind of a good checkpoint of where my balance is. Is my balance off in those two scenarios in life? So
how do you, if you're sitting back and reflecting on that, how do you move the needle one way or the other? Say, okay, well, I know you guys are plenty busy. Epic Construction's
Yeah.
plenty busy. How would you kind of throttle that back to where you can spend more time with your kids if you wanted to, if that's
So-
where you were at?
It's interesting you asked that because our quote of the day is the key is to not prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. And that is my answer, is that I felt like I wasn't getting enough time with my kids. I felt like I wasn't getting enough time to ride my horses and spend time with my husband. I schedule that first. And I have to schedule a couple weeks in advance, or I didn't even have enough time to get my hair done. Like that, my weeks were just so busy. I just couldn't even get away for 2 or 3 hours. So I just started scheduling that. And then my staff schedules everything else for that around me. So this podcast is a priority. It's on my calendar every month. It's a standing priority. Everything else goes around it.
Right.
So that's my answer too.
And you're brilliant for that because you can't get that time back.
Yeah.
You know, these kids grow up fast.
Right.
Yeah, they always say, like, you will make time for what's important to you. And so on a personal level, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Awesome. Well,
You want to break into questions?
Yeah, if anyone has any questions or wants to reach out to our podcast, we really encourage you to reach out to us in an email. We'd love to get topic ideas. We'd love to get questions about our shows, or if you're interested in working with any of the podcasters on any of our professional levels, you can reach us at closetohome636@gmail.com.
And we'll close with never put off till tomorrow what you can do the day after tomorrow, just to help Ashley out a little bit. All right. So anybody know who might have said that zany phrase?
I'm going to assume it's not Zig Ziglar.
Nope, but good guess. Mark Twain,
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Sammy Clemens.
Nice.
All right.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in this week, and please tune in next week. We've got some awesome topics coming up. So
We
if you guys
appreciate you and your input.
yeah, please, like Ashley said, if you guys have any questions, topics you would like us to discuss, send us an email. We'd love to hear your input. Thanks, guys. Catch you next week.
Have a great week.